Welcome in. It is the ATB Show. You can go to atbshow.com, the link where all the links live, brought to you by our good friends at AAA Work Trucks. They bring you the sports and informational musings of one William Rubbishoes Corey every morning, always on the Insta. And then everybody gets hash browned. It's not a hashtag here. We call them hash browns. Everybody gets hash browned. He includes Scotty. So everybody gets notified that the news is up.
Yes.
So if you woke up this morning and you're like, I wonder if the Red Sox scored an inordinate amount of runs last night, you can find out as soon as he hits the airwaves. So we appreciate that. AAA Work Trucks also bringing you this. So I don't know if I should thank them or apologize on their behalf because they're great people. But, you know, look at the content. I mean, again, we're still working with our production team to get a new 4-up. So in lieu of the new 4-up, you're getting the 5-up, and down in the corner where it used to say Bruins Hopes, now it says Bruins Tea Time. Tomorrow at 7:22.
What do we pay the technology team on this podcast? Because they're really slow.
Well, you are jabbing the knife between the 6th and 7th rib. Yeah, the 6th and 7th rib with the salt, because my boy that does all that stuff has moved on to a different opportunity. So he's not under said roof for me to punch him in the neck and ask for help. Although he promised me he will help. Although now again, he's not a member of my team, so I don't carry that. I don't carry that over him anymore. So he's going to get back to me when he gets back to me.
So we're in search of at this point.
So I'll use a term that I use here at the office quite often. The new 4-up is coming in Q5. It's very exciting. Yeah.
Excellent.
I knew Scotty would appreciate that. When's that report due? Q5. It's coming in Q5. So anyway, you've got Timmy in Portsmouth, Scotty Dukes in Southern Maine, Adam in beautiful downtown Connecticut, located at not that address. It's the place in Connecticut where you might be near, but you're never close enough to visit. That's where it is.
That's right.
That's
huge state. Yep. Huge state. You're never close enough to visit.
And Rubbish Shoes in the Lowell Studios. So much to cover. First and foremost, I have to ask, last week at the Preakness, Rubbish Shoes, did you win? What did the whiteboard have on it for the horses?
Nope, I lost.
Nope, I lost. So much enthusiasm. Hey, Rubbish Shoes, the show started. We're live.
Hello, Rubbish Shoes. Hello.
What?
Go ahead. What happens is the horse that comes in the worst gets to pick first for the next race. So I didn't win, but I didn't lose by enough. So I'm like stuck with like the third pick in the next race.
Sounds like the Red Sox before the hot streak. Yeah. I didn't win, but I didn't lose by enough. All right. So who won the Preakness?
It was
a horse.
We're leading with the Preakness. What is going on?
We're getting it over with. We're not going to wrap with it.
Tim says right before the show, we all know what's important, right? We're all on the same page about what's important. I'm like, oh yeah, Celtics, right? Celtics.
Brought to you by Spin Drip. Not a sponsor yet. Yeah. And unfortunately, alcohol free. Yeah. All right. So a horse won the race, to Scotty's point. All right. So we obviously are going to drill down on the Red Sox. We're going to save them for last. We're going to make Rubbish Shoes eat his vegetables first. We're not going to talk about the 1983 Lakers. We're going to talk about your Boston Celtics. Scotty, you get to tee off. You have the honors in the tee box because you have Bird hanging in the background. Anybody who ever played on the original NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System, where you slid the cartridge in, you pushed it down, the screen went black, you pulled it up, you blew on the brass fingers, which only added moisture and corrosion, which was making it worse, right? Yeah, we were very high tech. Double Dribble. Double Dribble was one of the best games ever.
Hanging up the jersey wins over wearing the jersey?
Are you wearing Bird?
He is, yeah.
Oh, I love all of this.
Yeah.
Did I miss something? It's possible I missed something because I've been head down all day. Did Bird pass away? Like, what's happening?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm asking.
What are you doing?
I'm asking.
No.
That took a turn.
Me and Scotty are on the same level. We're like,
oh my God.
No, we're just getting ready for the game, man.
We're just bringing the juju. All right. So is he going to make an appearance? Is he going to make an appearance tonight?
No. Larry? No.
Yeah. He's going to travel to South
Miami.
Beach. Larry Bird.
Yeah. Not this.
You may never see him in Boston ever again.
Yeah, I know.
It would be
so weird because I adore him,
of...
but he's never swinging through to say hi.
Well, you never say never, because Bill Russell at one point wouldn't go near Boston, and now he's like the darling of the city.
All-Star game when they had the top 75 players, did he show up there?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, he did.
All right. So I got a little hope then.
There's a little hope.
Well, I'm wondering if because now the Eastern Conference Championship trophy is actually named after him.
Right, he might be there on the
Magic. Will he actually be there to present? And how poetic would it be if it was actually Boston for the very first one? I think that'd be pretty freaking.
When Al Horford wins it, Larry Bird will be there to hand it off.
Wow,
Big Al. You think it's gonna be Big Al?
All sorts of declarations. We got
you never know. You never know.
Hey, Horford's playing amazing. You know, he's come down from that 30-point, take Giannis to school, game, but he's played really well. Honestly, with this series, it feels like whoever's healthy is going to win. That's just what it is, right? Whoever's the healthiest team right now is going to win. And it's still a game time decision for both Smart and Williams tonight. So it'll be huge to see. I'd asked a question to a couple of friends, was, watching Game 4 with Time Lord being back. I'm like, is he more important than Smart? Like, is that it, because of the way, obviously, what Smart can do, and he's an amazing player or whatever, but you look at their losses, most of their losses have been when Time Lord misses time. That was a lot right there. That was kind of like the rubber shoes comment right there. But is he more important? I mean, it's a tough question to answer. I pose it to the panel here, and see what you guys think. But it's an interesting one.
I would. Go ahead, rubber shoes.
I think it's depending who Miami has. I think with Lowry in the game, you really need Marcus there. And you just hold your breath with Bam. But if there's no Lowry, I don't worry about Marcus being in there. I think he's the key guy for Lowry. Lowry is such a pest too, so I like Marcus, keeping him in check. Bam, I think we can win against Bam without Time Lord one game.
Is somebody talking?
Are you in a restaurant? What's happening? I can hear I can hear cutlery and plates.
Order up.
So is Mike not picking up?
Let me ask. So
magic.
Brought to you by AAA Work Trucks. Do me a favor. Can you double check that mic you're on? You're welcome, Rode. I'm doing this for Rode, so they send me a free broadcaster.
Nope.
Oh, hold on.
I just switched to the Rodecaster. It wasn't hooked up.
There it is.
Thank you. I thought for sure you sounded echoey, and I was going to say after last week when Little Shoes moved into the room with you, you guys sounded like an audio vortex, and then today sounded weird. So that must have been your computer microphone picking up everything, right?
Yep.
Oh my God, you sound night and day. We're back, and we're back.
Last week was magical, by the way, with Rubber Shoes and Little Shoes in the same room.
Although I thought Rubber Shoes was going to turn to him and be like, "I am going to kill you."
I was waiting for it.
You guys can't share space. That's not a good idea. Yeah.
You looked really uncomfortable.
If anybody was ever wondering why,
I watched it. I was like, you just look like you're like. There's a couple.
Like a young Stadler and Waldorf, right? Yeah. So much better. Keep going with your thoughts, Rubber Shoes.
It was glorious. I was going to say, 'cause Lowry played in Game 4. I mean, he didn't play well.
Yeah, he did.
He did play in Game 4 without, and what's his name? Smart wasn't there. But Adam, go ahead. What are your thoughts on this too?
Well, first of all, thank you for that, Scotty. I need to start by saying, so on Monday night when the game was on, I was in a meeting until like 5 minutes into the first quarter. Mm-hmm. Okay. So my phone was on the desk in front of me, and it's, dinging away on our group text. And so every once in a while I'm peeking down at it. I'm like, well, I can't see the game, so I might as well at least hear what's going on. So the Celtics won the first quarter 29-11, right? But at one point it was like 18-1. But our group text chain is the most pessimistic group text chain of all time. Can I read a couple of the text chains? Mind you, we're 18-1. We're winning.
Brought to you by AAA Work Trucks Wireless. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Rubber Shoes says Brown has to stop going to the middle and losing the ball. Brown can't get anything to fall right now. Scotty, late ass whistles. Once again, we have a lead and Tatum is just running up and taking contested threes. I left the meeting thinking we were down by like 15 points. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? We won the quarter. We
didn't want them to blow the lead.
I was watching episode 4, season 2 of Bridgerton. Well, I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
I don't have time to text. I can't do that.
Well, I agree. I don't usually text during the games, but I was in a meeting, so I was like, I wanted to know what was going on.
Honest conversation. I know I bring no basketball expertise to the conversation. I'm going to complain about them wearing the wrong uniform, or I hate that everybody's shoes don't match anymore.
You're our resident BC guy, Tim.
I'm watching it remarkably biased because everybody talked about how the fixer was there, right? Foster, who is the referee, seems to have a history of making sure that we get 9 games out of a 7-game series.
The extender.
And mathematically, I'm like, yes. And we're going to come out with piss and vinegar because we laid an egg last time, and the whole 9 yards. And so is it strategically mapped out that there's going to be heartache for us tonight, victory for us in Game 6, or because there's a lot of people on this call, I believe, some gentlemen in the room believe we're going 6 games.
Yes, I think 6 games.
I think all of you said that, yes?
Yeah.
And I just think anytime we do anything that's amazing, it always takes all of it. So I'm going to say Game 7. I hate the thought of winning, which will guaranteed be a whiteout. Welcome to the city that doesn't hand out. Can we hand out some towels? I don't know if I'm against it or not because I've never seen it. Somebody get some freaking laundry.
Towels. No, we don't want the towels. We're better fans than the towels. We don't need towels in that.
I think I agree with you. I think I believe that to be true. And how would we know? It's tantamount to you saying this is the best pizza on the planet. You can't say that. You haven't outlawed the pizza. We've never spun towels in our life. Ever.
We won a 7th game against Milwaukee without any towels. We're good.
I feel like we need the towels. And there'll be towels tonight in Miami. You know it.
Of course there'll be towels because they're the worst fans in the league.
Be all whited out.
It's like 108 degrees down there already. You know what I mean? It's really hot. They need towels.
The Heat. Go around the horn. Are the Heat the worst fans in the league? The Heat fans the worst fans in the league? I mean, I can't think of another arena that's worse.
Oh God, really?
Yeah. They're terrible.
Detroit.
They don't even show up until midway through the first quarter.
Why Detroit?
Oh, Detroit is just terrible. Fair weather. Just they don't really know basketball. They haven't had a good team, and
they get in fights with Ron
20 years. Yeah, exactly. They fight with the players. That was just off the top of my head. I could definitely pick a couple more. I don't know. Come on.
Okay, so fine, but for a playoff team, Detroit is not a playoff team. For a playoff team, the Heat have by far, out of the 4 fan bases left, the worst fan bases, and probably out of the top 8 teams that were in the playoffs, the worst fan base. Would you agree with that?
How are you figuring out they're the worst?
Well, they don't show up until halfway through the first quarter. If you watch the game tonight, half the seats will be empty before the first quarter gets started. Number 2, at the third quarter, half the seats are empty because people are out, drinking and socializing outside of the arena. Well, why don't you just get your drinks and come back and sit back down? The third quarter is typically the time when somebody runs away with the game. So why don't you jump back in your seat and cheer on your team? It just drives me nuts.
Maybe the lines were long.
The lines.
To answer your top 8, by the way, I just realized Philadelphia was a part of that. So no, Philadelphia.
Well, wait a minute. Let's decide what we're talking about good fans versus bad fans. Philly fans are asshole fans, but that doesn't mean they're any less voracious than Celtics fans. Wouldn't you agree?
No, totally disagree. Philadelphia fans are absolutely horrible people and horrible fans. They turn on their team. It's 18-1, right? You're talking about the
yeah.
Somehow Philadelphia would find a way to fucking boo that. Okay, they're terrible fans. They could possibly be. It's still the fans, and I don't care how.
Scotty's going to die on the hill. They threw D batteries at Santa Claus.
Snowball at Santa for
D batteries. They threw D batteries at Santa Claus. Yep.
Yeah.
So I guess we won't be opening a franchise in Philly now.
Yeah, I guess
we haven't opened a franchise in New England yet. This is like a taco truck with 3 flat tires. Good night, everybody. Make sure you check out the show next week. Oh my God. Opening a franchise in Philly. Oh boy.
Well,
ATB, all the batteries.
Yes, all the batteries.
That's good. I like that.
So to answer Scotty's question about the game itself, though, I have to say that obviously we played well. Our defense was just locked down, and I don't know why we can't play that defense every game. I just don't understand it. It's like defense is just effort, right? I mean, offense, okay, you're having a bad offensive night. We had a bad offensive night the other night on Monday night. We couldn't knock down anything. What did we make, 5 threes or something like that? It was like really low. Our defense was ramped up, and you don't need to have a good night on defense. Like, that's a strange thing to even think. I don't understand why we're so lopsided in these games where we can't just keep that defensive intensity all game long. That's my biggest concern about the whole last 3 games is that if we have a single quarter where we let down on defense, it's shown to really screw us in the long run. I mean, we've only lost 2 quarters out of the entire series, and we've lost 2 games.
3.
I thought we tied the third one.
They lost the fourth quarter the other night.
Oh, well, that was garbage time. Okay, so 3.
No, and I agree. I mean, I think where I'm coming from around like the Robert Williams, Marcus Smart comparison, especially in the context of this series, I think Williams is more important because Bam just, I'm sorry to me to say this, but Bam just ate Daniel Tice's lunch. You know, whenever he faces Tice,
terrible.
he just
awful.
destroys him. But he like salivates. He's like, Daniel Tice is on me. I'm gonna just, he dropped 31, and a lot of it was on like him and.
Well, and the wife and I are watching the game, and did we get to 22-1 before they actually got the 3-pointer?
I can't remember.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was 18-1.
Oladipo hit a 3. I think we were 22-1 before he hit a 3, and it went 22-4. Okay. And I think I was so focused on I can't believe they're holding this lead. I can't believe they've only scored 1 point with like 3 minutes left in the quarter. That aside, I couldn't. I wasn't sure, and I think I looked, and I think I found out that I was like, that was a weird decision. That Tice started. I remember thinking, oh my God, he went in super early, but he started, correct?
I don't think so.
On Monday? No, I think Robert
that
Williams
game or the game before that? I'm missing
my
days.
The game before that he did. Yeah,
okay.
The game before that he did because Williams was out.
Ah, okay. That's
so no, they had their usual starting. Well, not their usual. Obviously, Smart was out, but it was Tatum, White, Horford, Brown, and Time Lord.
All right, so let's stay on track with that. Do we know like who the scratches are right now? I haven't looked. Who are the scratches for tonight?
No
idea.
Okay.
Everybody's questionable.
Right now.
Everybody's questionable.
I
Especially Rubber Shoes with his microphone.
Seriously.
The players are sick of everyone saying, "Oh, we just have to watch basketball the last 2 minutes of the game," and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're going to show them. We're going to have a blowout in the first quarter, and that's it. That's the game right there."
Mm-hmm.
You think that's the strategy of the players?
Yep. Conspiracy. Like,
oh
yeah, you're only going to show up for the last 2 minutes of the game. We'll show you.
But hold on, just to play counterweight to that is that when you go up by 25 points in the first quarter, now people are going to say, "Oh, we only have to show up for the first quarter."
Sure, I'll leave after the first quarter. Beat the traffic.
Oh Christ!
Oh,
put your Lakers jersey back on.
Right.
For God's sake.
Yeah, he is dying. He's dying to put on a West Coast jersey.
Oh my God!
You entered the chat, and you said, "Sorry to say it." Somebody can probably pull this up, so I'm not paraphrasing. Sorry to say it. Golden State's taking the whole thing. You fell on your Nerf sword before we even got to the finals, which I don't even want to jinx and talk about that. We got 3 more games we got to figure out. Hopefully only 2, but I'm in the mindset. Yeah. We still haven't had an overtime. Like, I feel like we're living in some sort of simulation. Like, how have we not had an overtime?
I've been able to go to bed.
Rubber Shoes, are you a real fan or what's going on? What you want to go to bed? I'm sitting there when the game ends. I'm like, give me more. I want to watch more of this. I don't know why you're like, I want to go to bed. I mean, I know the Red Sox games are more enjoyable because it's like
I wake up at 4:30 every morning.
Oh, well, I don't do that, so I'll give you that.
What is your schedule working from home, Adam? While we're there.
What's my schedule? Oh, I don't have a schedule. Well, I roll out of bed whenever I want.
Yeah, like
oh, good Lord, that must
I got to get the girls out of the house for school, but after that,
do you guys drive them to school, or you just getting the short people on the bus?
Well, they can walk or we'll drive them. Sometimes it's either way.
Okay.
Sometimes they walk. Sometimes they don't take the bus though.
And you and the missus both work from home.
Correct.
It's a unified organization.
It is.
She is the CEO. You are employee number one.
Employee number one. That's right.
And your day starts.
Told about it all the time.
Your day starts when?
9, probably.
All right. No,
it ends.
So
around
wait a minute.
3.
You actually sit up in bed at 9 o'clock, or you're actually handling buttons on a keyboard at 9 o'clock?
It depends. My earliest conference call is 10:30. So anytime before that, I got to get behind my computer. So.
Wow.
Dude, I'm so jealous of you right now. I don't remember last. I think that's insane.
And Dukes, you're home, right? Home office.
I am
1,000%. When do you and that, and I don't know, like, do you guys have VPN software that's tracing if your mouse is moving, if you taped it to a fan on those nice summer days where you're how do you navigate all that?
The jiggler? Is that what it's called? The jiggler?
Yeah. Well, I'm up pretty early. I'm up usually around like 5:30, 6 o'clock. Around that time, I also work. My job is I work global, so a lot of the stuff that I have to get online for like the East markets and the Western European market and all that. So I have to get up early. So I have to chat with those folks. So yeah, my first conference call could be anywhere between like 6 to 6 or 8, essentially.
Oh,
but yeah.
I still got sand in my eyes at 6. I got to be honest.
Unreal.
What time are you in the office, Tim?
It's pretty and this started during COVID, and it's just sort of, it's funny how our schedules melted and they haven't changed, and Nate's just like, cool. And I'm like, not really. Yeah. So I mean, my contract when I signed it was like Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, right? Yeah, and then we've sort of, and I know since people have joined the company, for our staff, not our agents, but for our staff, it is moved to 8:30 to 5, right? Which I think a lot of people, that's the expectation. Mine literally says 9 to 5. I got it bronzed, so he never forgets. But during COVID, because I was still coming into the office and I could drive anywhere I wanted because it was like The Walking Dead out there. Nobody was on the road.
Right.
But I just got into the habit of getting in because we have a national call that's run by our director of education, and he sort of starts a pre-call at 7:30. And for me to just get in and get everything set, because on a day like today, like I went from that call to a call I run for our smaller company here, KWCLM. This month I'm teaching up until lunch, coming back to call. So if I don't get in here and get my life in order before I go on back to back, I'm sort of screwed. Yeah. So it's overkill, but I'm usually walking in here around 7:15 or so.
All right.
Yeah.
And then
I'm marching out at 5 o'clock unless I'm spending time with my best friends.
Oh.
And the Bruins tea time. And the nice cold Spindrift. Still not a sponsor. Yeah.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah. It's my favorite. Yeah, and Rubber Shoes is just he's either at the firehouse making burgers and tots, or he's AAA work trucks.
Weights.
If it goes on or near your truck, they have it for you. I think I got the slug line wrong, but I tried Rubber Shoes.
Close.
Not too bad. Close.
Rubber Shoes. What are we lifting these days? Are you what are you benching these days?
I don't bench. I don't have a spotter.
So what do you do for when you go for your workout?
That is such a hard-o statement. I lift so much, I have to have assistance.
It's not. No, I'm 51 years old. I go there to maintain. I don't try to get bulky.
Do some bicep curls.
I'll drop something on my face.
Some tries. Some triceps.
On the other side of that coin, I go to a women's gym. It's called Envision. I grab the pink band, and I don't sweat. Yeah.
Oh, that's the TB12 method.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Jesus Christ.
Woo. Rubber Shoes just laying it out right now.
Unreal.
The truth, isn't it?
Did we go back to the Celtics now? What are we doing?
Oh, yeah. Who knows?
Are we making predictions for tonight at least?
I think we should.
Is there anything we didn't touch on, Scotty? I know Scotty and Rubber Shoes, probably all three of you.
The latest, by the way, from Woj on his Twitter, which he just posted about like 30 minutes ago, is Time Lord's going to test his left knee in warm-ups. There's optimism that he's going to play.
Okay.
So we'll see. Nothing on Smart right now, though.
Okay.
I'm worried about this Time Lord thing, and I'll tell you why. Obviously, for the reasons on the floor, but remember in 2010 when the Celtics were looking like they might be able to pull off a second championship with the big three, KG, Ray Allen, and Pierce. The whole reason that they didn't was because Perk, at least a lot of people have speculated the reason that they didn't is because Perk was out in Game 7 against the Lakers. And so this is what's got me so on edge about the Time Lord, because the dude is definitely a difference maker. There's no question about it. I mean, we're a different defensive team when he's in there. My concern is that it's so tenuous one way or the other whether he's going to play that we're going to maybe we get to the finals and we're going to all of a sudden not have him for a game or two, and that's going to sink our chances. That's
I think that's
the biggest concern.
The way it's going to be that there's no way he can play 3 games in a row. So right now they have to figure out, do they want him tonight in Game 7 or do they want him Game 6 and Game 7? Because they're not getting all 3.
Oh, you don't think he can go 2 in a row? That's what you're saying, or 3 in a row?
Not 3 in a row. Definitely not 3 in a row.
Yeah,
it's tough for him to do 2 in a row.
Right.
But there's no way he can play tonight game, especially where it's every other night now. But earlier in the first round and early in the second round, they were taking 3 days off in between. That was easier for them. But right now, where it's every other night, I don't see him being able to play 3 games in a row.
Scotty, why do you think he is so important in this series? Because I know you said you were talking about Tice on Bam, but it's can't Horford play Bam and then Tice just roams a little bit? I guess that's sort of what they do with Robert Williams, and maybe he's just better at that than Tice is. But it seems like Tice could fill that role enough to sort of get us by, especially if Smart's in the game.
Yeah, the problem is the way that they run a lot of their offense is a lot of pick and roll. So they run a lot of pick and roll, and so Tice can't switch the way that Williams can switch. Right. So you did see Horford a lot of, he did actually match up against Bam. He kept picking him up early on. I did love the pressure because in Game 3, Bam was bringing the ball up with no pressure, right? They were just, especially in that first half, he was bringing the ball up, and it was insane to me. Why are they not in his face? Horford started picking him up, but I think it's a lot around the way that Williams can make up ground. So he can be at one spot and he can flash and he can go to, he collapses really well. And that's where you see a lot of his block shots come in, where he's actually rotating and giving help defense and blocking the shot, right? And on offense, I think the other thing is that he's obviously become that, alley-oop guy, for them quite a bit. And he bails them out quite a bit as well. And if they have they run a set, it's not working out, they get that accidental offense where he's just down there and they toss it up. You know what I mean? So that's helped him a lot too. I think he's a critical piece, because I also think that he's a binky a little bit at times for if guys do get beat. So if someone's beat, they know, all right, I'm not gonna foul, I'm not gonna reach. Right. Because, Butler got by me, I know that, Williams is there. He's going to clean it up. And I think that makes a big difference compared to Timmy's boy, Tice, who I love. Don't get me wrong. But, he just doesn't, he's not nearly as dominant or as good, and definitely not a binky type of situation.
Oh, I love the Puss in Shoes here. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my favorite.
I don't think Tice is as much of a liability on the offensive end as he is on the defensive end. I think, Tice can make plays. He definitely grabs rebounds from time to time, offensive rebounds. I agree with you, though. The play where Robert Williams picked up Jimmy Butler and it looked like he was totally beat, and then he just blocked the ball out of bounds, was unbelievable. No way in hell Tice can do that. So that's a good point about.
He makes up ground really fast, right? You know what I mean? He leaves the space, but then he makes that space up really fast. It'll be really interesting on how much he plays. He only played 18 minutes in Game 4, so we'll see how much he plays tonight if he plays tonight.
So I'd like to see them put Grant Williams on Adebayo, and because Grant Williams played Giannis really well, so I think that he'd be able to play some defense on Bam,
Yeah,
and he did play him a little bit. He played 36 minutes, so he definitely matched up against Bam. I think the difference is between Bam and Giannis is just going to drive into him. You know what I mean? Like constantly like drive where you see Bam, he's more, he'll go more back to the basket and then kind of like he'll actually step back and try that little weird ass one-handed, 13-footer or whatever. But yeah, tonight's, I honestly think from a prediction perspective, I think the Celtics buck the trend. I think they're tired of hearing everyone say that they have to get punched in the mouth to, actually win a friggin' game. So I think the buck the trend tonight and they get the dub.
And then you think they clean it up at home?
Yes. I definitely do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to ask this only because in the moment I was feeling it, and I'm like, and Janina was candy crushing, so she wasn't going to be able to add any. And although the historical reference I'm going to make, I know she remembered because we all do as Celtics fans. I felt like when Smart went out and he came back in, I'm like, okay, adrenaline. He's going to work through the pain, and he's a tough SOB, and I appreciate that. When the shoulder strain thing happened with Tatum and he went out, I'm like, are we all auditioning for our Paul Pierce moment? Like, I'm being honest, because he came back in and he had a couple of plays and his wing was fine. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't know if they're trying to recreate this. Like, it felt artificial. It felt, I don't know, produced in the moment, and I'm just like, they almost went out one after the other. I'm like, we don't need that right now. We need you guys to just get cohesive on the floor and play basketball. And it was just, it felt weird. It felt gross.
Coincidence that he was still in the locker room until they got it down to like 3 points, and then he came back out.
Rubber Shoes can't stand Tatum. I mean, let's just call the elephant in the room. Rubber Shoes does not like Tatum.
Saturday night at Garth Brooks, I had my Tatum jersey on.
Oh, God.
Garth Brooks. Yes.
Was that your anniversary thing? Is that what you guys did?
Yeah, that's where I went, and my wife stayed home. Yep.
Oh, yes. I forgot about this. You
on
went
your
out.
Anniversary?
Yeah.
Hashtag what not to do.
Yeah.
No, that's when you have a great wife, it doesn't matter. It's like we just went out and had our dinner on Sunday.
Until you get into a fight and she says, "How was that Garth Brooks concert?"
I'm going to go back to his Insta, and you actually go back and you realize that all the pictures from the North End, the hands across the table are both hairy. You're like, oh, that's not Mother Shoes. That's Jerry from the Firehouse.
Something's working. It's been 28 years, so something's working.
I got friends in low places.
Oh, God. Rubber Shoes, good for you, man. Good for you. That's good. I like that you went out with a friend. It's hard to believe that you went on your anniversary. But
I was with my drunk brother Saturday night.
Oh, your brother. Okay.
It's not Bumble. It's not Tinder. It's not Grindr. It's for firefighters. It's called Kindling. We'll make you match. Sorry about the pun. No, we're not.
Oh, yes.
Brought to you by AAA Work Trucks.
Yeah. I feel a new sponsor coming on. Kindling.
So many shameless plugs.
Oh, my God.
Oh, still not alcoholic. Brought to you by Spindrift. Still not a sponsor.
Please, yes.
Oh my God. I just throwing that out there. It felt very artificial, very produced, and I'm like, if one more person goes out, what I wanted, hockey inserted here. What I wanted was for somebody to leave with an upper body injury and come back in a wheelchair. Right? I tripped over a security guard. I sprained my ankle.
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. It did feel a little weird. I have to say, it felt a little weird when he went out. But I do think that he probably did get hurt, right? And he was a little, probably way over dramatic on it. I think he could have gone to the bench and had somebody sort of like work it out, like if it was a muscle strain or something.
Right.
The smart thing.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think
that's what they said.
Stinger.
Stinger.
Impingement.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the smart thing was like a legit thing. I think obviously everybody could see that he turned his ankle, and he was going to be hurt. And to me, that was like, okay, that was the moment, right? Mm-hmm. And then Tatum went out, and it sort of soured that moment. It sort of like stepped on that moment, and then neither one of them had any juice whatsoever. I don't know. I agree with you, Tim. I thought it was like really strange.
Little odd. A little bit odd.
Yeah.
Anyway, predictions for tonight, boys.
All right, Celtics by 10.
Okay. What do you got, Scotty?
Oh, I gave mine. I think Celtics. Yeah, I think the Celtics will probably win. I think it's actually going to be a relatively close game for once in the series. Celtics by 8.
I'm going to keep saying it till I'm right. We go to overtime.
How did this work for you in the last games that we
predicted? It doesn't.
82 games. 82 games for the Red Sox.
Listen, we'll go 3 up next time. I won't even show. Yeah, I'm gonna say we go to overtime. And Celtics by 3.
Oh, okay.
108-105. There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'm doing it. Keep
Just
going.
for you, Timmy, I'm saying 122 to 112.
Oh, I love that about you.
There you go. Yeah.
God, rubber shoes.
Celtics by 6.
Celtics, Lakers by 9. What did you say?
Celtics by 6. 104-98.
104-98. I like this.
Rubber shoes. Here's the question. If they're in the middle of the broadcast and they break in with the reporting on who the Lakers have hired as their new head coach, will you change your jersey to a Lakers jersey?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
And will Bird stay on for the night?
No, actually, I got to go to a retirement party as soon as we're done here.
Do you wear it underneath like Superman?
No, I should be back home before tip off, so I'll put my attire on then.
Do you hang it on the farmer's porch and get changed outside to not ruin the consecration of indoors?
Oh, good point. Good question.
It all matters.
But there's nothing because this has been ridiculous. So Monday night I was at the fire station.
Give us all of it. Give us all of it.
Monday night I was at the fire station. Friday night I'm at the fire station. So there's like no mojo from me on this thing.
That means they're gonna lose.
I was at the concert Saturday night.
I'm gonna get Adam Silver on the line. Hang on a second.
Can we change the schedule?
Listen, you bald prick. Yeah.
Can we get an announcement about the Lakers head coach anytime soon?
So
for
where
God's
are you
sakes?
tonight?
I have to go to a retirement party. It actually started at 5:00.
Oh my God!
You should have done the show from there.
So let's skate a little bit faster. We all have our predictions in. Let's move on to the Red Sox, and I trust we can all probably mute our microphones while Rubber Shoes talks about how right he is.
I'm not right. Although I'm
not wallowing in my greatness. That's you guys.
I like how we started with although.
You feel that heat? That's my flame.
So last night we're watching the Red Sox and Kevin Millar goes, all they got to do is win one series at a time, just one series at a time. And I look at my wife and I'm like, that's what I've been saying for 3 weeks on the show. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, see, I know a lot about baseball. she's been mocking me ever since I said that.
Kevin Millar has been saying that since 2004.
6 degrees of Kevin Millar. Yeah. I got to tell you, our number one fan, Cheryl, is in love with Eucalyptus with the rally bandana. With the rally headband. Yep. She's a huge fan. And question for you guys. I'm not trying to get you off track, Rubber Shoes. I know you have a lot to talk about. When Franchi hit the grand salami the other day, remarkable by the way, Uke was making the comment as he was coming in, and I wish we had the footage and the rights to play it. We don't, and we don't.
And the technology to do it.
Oh, we do. It's about rights. It's about rights. So when he was crossing home plate, it sounded like he said, I believe he said a great slugging comeback. But it sounded more like he's just an athlete in the moment. Very Eckersleyan of him. It sounded like he said it was a great fucking comeback because we played it back. We had Aiden and Cameron come in and listen to it. I believe he said not a great slugging comeback. That doesn't even make sense. Nobody's ever formed that.
Who would say
before.
that? Yeah, that's not even a sentence.
I do believe he said more than that. And to his credit, Dave O'Brien skated right over it and kept talking, but he's trained to do that because he's had more than one color analyst F-bomb, right? Mm-hmm. And again, it's almost like that first game when Big Papi came back after the marathon bombing and said, this is our fucking city, right? Like in the grand scheme of things, somebody had to call, Barbara and Roslindale had to call and complain to the universe. Right? for the Red Sox to get fined. Like I'm sure somebody did.
There's a Yankees fan somewhere that.
But
called.
Everybody else was like, that was amazing, and it was appropriate in the moment, and that's how we're all feeling, and the whole thing. So not a big deal. I do remember Eckersley had a bump in the road a few years ago that he let something rip, which is just natural and funny as hell as fans. But I wasn't sure if you guys, if you were watching, I trust you were, if you saw it in the moment, and if you heard the same thing, or if I'm crazy. And all three.
Yeah, I probably was screaming over what he said.
That was so good. It was so unexpected for Franchi to go yard for a grand salami to walk it off.
Yeah.
It was
for his first home run of the season.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. So what are still the concerns for this team? Obviously they've been hitting. It's been
a bullpen, because as great a win it was, we had to win in extra innings after we blew a lead in the.
Yeah. Yep.
So there's concerns there, and I really think they need to put Garrett Whitlock back in the bullpen. He hasn't looked as good as he was in the bullpen in these starts. He got lit up, I think, for like 10 hits his last start. So I would like him to go back into the bullpen, but they'll be they're going to be getting Sale back at some point. And they have another pitcher that they picked up in the offseason that's going to be coming back. So that might correct itself that way by getting a starter, a true starter back in and then moving him in. And that's going to make them really strong. If they add a starter and put Garrett in the bullpen, and then they can lose, Danish. I know you love Danish, Timmy, but
is that a fat joke?
Wow. Hey, I made it. I made the
so
joke before you made it on yourself.
You know what?
I know you love Danish, Timmy.
Next week I'll just produce it. I don't need to be on screen. You guys can,
Hey, fat ass! I know you like.
Yeah. Hey, I know you like Danish.
Who doesn't like Danish?
Last time I make a dating app joke about firefighters. Yeah. One Kindling comment. Suddenly I'm having baked goods lobbed at my obesity. Holy smokes.
Dear
Lord.
Nick Pavetta's turned around. They're hitting. I mean, Trevor Story was unbelievable the last, since Friday. Unbelievable. Crazy.
So, and I'm gonna hold on for dear life to my 83 and 79 because I know I said that out loud. And
8-2 in the last 10, Tim.
What's that?
I said they're 8-2 in the last 10. So.
And I love that. That prediction never made me the person that wasn't a fan of the Red Sox. I love the Red Sox. Right. I want our city to be on fire all year long with sports greatness. That being said, they're starting to warm up before I think they should. Historically, for me, I'd rather have them go in Luke cold into the break and then come out on the other side and be a different team. And I feel like now they're starting to heat up. And the All-Star break is always this line in the sand that I feel like we come out differently from. And if we're going into that hot, that sort of freaks me out. Because I want everything. I want 83 and 79 to be wrong. I'm going to stick to it. I'm not going to change my mind. And I feel like now they're starting to play really well. But I guess to that point, are we a starting pitcher injury away from being back in the shitter because the bullpen's not great and we had to go extra innings to win a game that we were in control of that we blew, right? And back to the specialization of, oh, my God, you went 4 2/3. Got to get out, Jimmy. And we just keep rushing people through, and we're not just getting quality innings out of somebody who could have kept going. Was it who was it the other night that went?
That was Evaldi that started.
Yeah. So I don't know. And I'm not questioning he's won one for us before. I just don't. I'm not questioning him or any of that.
I mean, Pivetta had a complete game 2 starts ago. Unbelievable.
So what lets them not for Pivetta the other night, they let him go, and we could have a pitcher in the same position who's really grooving, but they'll pull him. And I know there's a lot of medical stuff and conversations that they're not having with the fans. Like, hey, by the way, he's got a callus on his big toe. We're going to yank him out so it doesn't get worse. Like, we don't know all the things. But if somebody's grooving, like the hot goalie theory, let him go.
Yeah, so I think what was happening in April, like Houck had a no-hitter going. They pulled him. And Evaldi had a really good start. They pulled him like in the 6th inning. Because they had the shortened spring training, the starting pitchers weren't stretched out to go longer. So I think now you're seeing they're they're more comfortable with letting the pitchers go longer now. Mm-hmm. I thought it was strictly, they're not going to see a lineup third time through, and that was driving me crazy. But now they've gone away from that. I think it was just had to do with them not being stretched out enough. I think we're setting up pretty good. I mean, the bullpen isn't awful, but it's definitely been what's cost us games. Mm-hmm. So that's what I hate about the way that they view pitching now is that, you get 5 or 6 from your starter and then they bring in, 10 different relievers because you never know what you're getting out of the bullpen.
Right.
It's always a coin flip. It's like this guy could be great today and then, give up 10. Like Sawamura seems like every other appearance he's really good and then really bad.
Has anybody else been to Fenway yet this year?
I have not.
Nope. Might be going Sunday.
Okay. So I had family opening day before those games got blown up and then moved, obviously, for me and Cameron. And then he just celebrated his birthday over the weekend. So we got seats again. We're behind the Red Sox dugout. I think it's the last Sunday home game. I'm going to be wrong, but I think it's Tampa Bay. The
last Sunday home game of the season?
The last Sunday home game. I believe it's a 1:15 start. We're going to be there. So I'm just asking Scotty to not go that day because I'd like to sit in the sunshine. And I'm just trying to clear my calendar, buddy. That's all I'm asking. What's the valid request? Well, I can see you and Chernick and Uncle Stevie. I think you belong out the brand new seating out in Truly. The Truly seating where they have the whole skybox for the broadcast and stuff like that. That you would be living the dream out there.
I would love that.
But I'm just...
Is that a lottery? You have to get into a lottery
Scotty to stay home that day because Scotty brings the ring.
The thing I love about our team now is that so many fans have gone away and they're not banging out every game is that you can actually... So we're looking to possibly go Sunday. I'm going to wait till probably Friday or Saturday to buy my tickets, make sure it's going to be a nice day and go in. I don't have to buy it. I don't have to buy tickets 4 months in advance, 5 months in advance, and then pray that it's going to be a good day.
Right.
What jersey you wear to a game Sunday if you're going?
Depends if there's a game 7.
Magic Johnson. Depends if they. Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. The Red Sox are playing at 1:30, so I will leave the Red Sox in order to watch the Game 7 if it's happening. But if there's a Game 7,
if you go to the Red Sox game, you need to go scalp tickets to the Celtics. So why wouldn't you do that? You're already in the city.
Because they'll be in Miami.
Oh, right. Duh.
Yeah. Here's a massive opportunity.
I would love to go to Miami.
Here's what we have to do so everyone can get their kid one for Christmas. We are going to have an ATB Rubber Shoes doll.
Yes.
And then you can change his Crocs. You can change his
outfits.
Hat.
Yeah. All the different outfits.
Yeah.
That's a cash cow. That's a cash cow. You can sell any jersey you want.
Yeah.
And instead of American Girl dolls, would be the American Boy doll. And there's that song, American
Get the Rubber
Boy,
Shoes Dream
right?
House.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll have a whole soundtrack for it. You can get them changed.
Firehouse.
Oh my God. Yes.
Get your 1972 Detroit Pistons jersey for your Rubber Shoes doll.
Can we talk about that real quick too? Just getting back to the Lambier comment that I know we were talking about before we went on the air. I would love a massive, and we haven't had a Red Sox brawl yet, I don't think. There's been a few throughout the league. And I'm not looking for that. And I'm not trying to get away from baseball because I'm sure Rubber Shoes has 38 more points he wants to make. They keep saying it, and they've said it a couple times during the series. It's a good old-fashioned Eastern Conference slugfest. I want somebody to Bill Lambier, Larry Bird to Bill Lambier. I want them to just throw. I want it to get that chippy, that contentious.
It's not going to happen.
Because they're going to get it.
You want to lose a player for the rest of the series.
Yeah, because you'll be gone. Like, that's not going to happen.
Right.
I know.
Right.
They're such an annoying group.
You tell Aaron Neesmith, go get him.
Yeah,
exactly. It's just somebody that you're willing to let go.
Take out Jimmy Butler.
You accidentally elbow someone in the head when you're going for a rebound, you get a flagrant one.
Yeah, that does drive me nuts a little bit when they're in an actual basketball motion and they get called for a flagrant. Like, give me a break. I mean, it's
that's
ridiculous.
just it. I mean, you like the one they had on Smart where he's literally going up.
Right.
And as he's going up, the guy's face happens to be there, and he hits him with the elbow. Yeah. And I'm like, come on. Like, it was ridiculous.
And that they have to go review it.
Yeah.
To make the call is even worse.
Which makes Rubber Shoes stay up later, and he gets grumpy because he has to get up at 4:30 in the morning.
Well, it's amazing. I don't know if you. I know. So, the owners of AAA Work Trucks have season tickets, and they're going tonight.
Nice.
Oh no, they're in Miami tonight. They'll be going Friday night. I'm all confused, but you could tell when the Celtics won, everyone comes in. They're all happy. When they lost, they come in. It's like everyone stayed up till like 3 a.m. and got no sleep. And it's like, when I left work today, I said, okay, hopefully we have a really good day tomorrow.
Because everybody's going to be up late.
That means we had a good night.
Well, and it only gets worse when the Red Sox go on the West Coast. I despise those games.
I can't.
The 10:30 starts. It's not happening.
Stay up to the first pitch.
Red Sox were like 8-0 last night. And it was like 8:59, and I literally, she's Candy Crushing. I literally shut the TV off. I'm like, sleepy nights. Sleepy nights. I mean, if they blew it, that would have been horrible. But like, then it ended up 13-6. Was that the final?
16-3.
16-3. I apologize. So I just looked real quick because I knew off the top of my head, and I was guessing with Tice that it was German. But I'm like, if he is from anywhere else that we could get away with calling him Danish, so we're gonna nickname him. I'm nicknaming him. Just to play him with all the baked good frivolity we've had, I'm nicknaming Daniel Tice the Strudel.
The Strudel. Oh, I like it. I like it.
Yeah. He was born in Salzburg, Germany. I knew he was European, so yes.
So now when we talk about it, we could say, Timmy, we know you like strudel, so
yeah.
Well, we know he was referring to Daniel Tice, not like the actual pastry.
Yeah. Rubber Shoes is on the phone with Adam Silver trying to get the schedule changed.
Oh.
Yeah. Stand by. What are we doing?
Tell him to make the game shorter, Rubber Shoes. You got to go to bed.
Yes.
It's a callback from his Kindling app. Yep.
I saw you swiped left.
Yeah.
You want a chance with a smoking hot date?
I want to know.
Are you a firefighter with a huge hose?
I'm going to steer away from that one. I want to know who the Facebook user is that just posted he's wrong.
We have decorum all of a sudden.
I don't give a shit either way.
Yeah, who's that, Rubber Shoes?
One of my coworkers she's from Ohio, so.
Oh. She's a Lakers fan then?
She's a Cleveland Cavs fan when LeBron's on the team.
Yeah, so she didn't go to the Los Angeles Lakers when LeBron left?
No.
Oh.
She's a Boston fan because she's been living here 7-8 years now. So she likes Boston teams, but overall she's
active in the chat. She's going to tell us exactly.
Oh, Rubber Shoes is spilling the wrong.
I don't know who this girl is, but we're getting her a drink.
LeBron. We need to go on the show.
Wow. So
there's room on the show.
We played softball together, and she showed up to a softball game wearing a Cleveland Cavs LeBron James jersey. So she can't say she hated LeBron.
Rubber Shoes, have you
You
seen
don't buy jerseys for people you hate.
You don't have a jersey of somebody that you hate anywhere in your house?
No.
I don't believe it. All those jerseys you have, you've got to at least have one that you hate.
I throw them away. I got rid of all my Kyrie.
I'm just gonna say, and we're gonna leave it on this because I have to know, and I fear I already do.
Oh no!
Have you ever, after getting news of a trade or somebody making their way to South Beach, taking their talents elsewhere, have you ever gone in the driveway with mother shoes and little shoes and some lighter fluid and burnt a jersey?
I'm a firefighter.
I'm just asking.
If you're a firefighter, you know how to handle it.
Yeah, you got a burn bucket. Yeah. No?
If anybody should do it, it's you.
There's no legal outside burning in Lowell.
Even in a pit? You can't
Preface
burn
the statement with legal outside burning in Lowell. Yes.
No burning. No. You have to pretty much have a built chimney outside to be able to burn outside. It has to be a chimney structure that you can burn in.
Clarifying that she's a Cleveland fan, not a fan of players. So she salutes the laundry, and I agree with her in that. Yes.
So she liked LeBron when she was a Cleveland Cavalier.
She was rooting for
of
LeBron
course, because she was rooting
in
for
the
the
right
Cavaliers,
laundry.
not for LeBron. Yes. Yeah.
She is a fan of the mistake by the Malake. We appreciate that. Very excited.
They're a good young team, by the way. The Cavs. They're a good young team. They'll make a run every once in a while in the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Good times.
Yeah, they're good. Evan Mobley's a beast.
Yep.
Are we wrapped, boys?
I think so.
Rubber Shoes has to get to a retirement party.
Rubber Shoes. Are you wearing a suit to the retirement party? What's going on with the outfit?
I'm debating changing out of this jersey.
Is it for the firehouse or the company?
Yeah. There's two deputies so they retired like a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. So this is their party.
So it's not like a fancy thing.
No, it's just firefighters down at the Mount Pleasant Country Club.
Like that. There you go. You
might
see Coach Gay.
Keep the
might see Coach Gay grabbing a late back nine. I like that. Very exciting.
I can walk from there home if I have to.
Oh boy. You're the salt of the earth. You're gonna walk home from Mount Pleasant back to your house. You can take a Uber and be safe.
Why spend the money? It's literally a half mile away.
Right.
For you to Mount Pleasant?
Why spend the money?
All right. Okay. I hear you.
Yeah.
He's got to save that for his next date to the Garth Brooks concert.
What I love is that Steph's like, I'm not going to pick his ass up.
Yeah.
I know that.
I have peace at home right now. I'm not going anywhere near that.
Rubber shoes and a suit from a retirement party on a Schwinn with big wheels, no speeds, and a wicker basket.
Wicker basket.
Full of all of his Red Sox victories. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say victims.
We could. Speaking of victims, if you're still listening and watching, we love you for that. Thank you for joining us on ATB Show. We'll be back next Wednesday, same bat time. And, of course, you can go to atbshow.com with the link. Check out all the socials. And above and beyond that, please tell a friend. Smash the like button. Subscribe. Comments. We love the comments. There's been a myriad from one of our people making fun of Rubber Shoes. We always invite that. Yes, if we can stack the jury against him for every episode, get in the chat. Be active in the chat. We absolutely adore it. For Scotty, for Adam, for Rubber Shoes, and for Tyler and the Bruins Tea Time, my name's Timmy. Have a great week. We'll see you in and around. Bye.